Now, let the uprising begin.
There are only two genders, and one of them is right here. It's the box that rocks. This is the Angela Box Show on AM 1070 and FM 1033. The Answer.
Hello, hello, hello. Once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy leftist stalkers out there. What's up? Steven? I don't know. Do I want to go? Okay, do I want to go with my first world problems first? Or do I want to tell you about my ice cube? Today it was a good day. What would you like to hear first? Today it was a good day.
Kind of interested in hearing about a good day for once.
Whatever. You're such a negative Nancy all the time. I'm like, okay. Okay, today was a good day. I didn't have to use my AK because today was a good day. So here's why it was a good day. You know how when I come in here, I'm always complaining about the traffic and whatnot, and the roads that are all just looks like Mogadishu, as I mentioned last week. I'm telling you what, I don't know what kind of elves or brownies or fairies work at night in Houston, but basically the roads are all smooth again, except for one little stretch. I'm like, how does this happen so fast? I don't get it. I don't get it. So that was good. And then I got to this awful parking garage that I complain about incessantly because they have it is just impossible to park. And I found an immediate spot, a middle spot, and it was right there at the front. And I walk in, I'm like, I really didn't have to use my AK. Walk in, nobody's in the lobby.
Wow.
Score. Then I get a straight shot all the way up on the elevator. It was a good day.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
With no stops?
No stops.
There is a God.
Yeah, there is. And boy, God is looking out for me today. You know, he was like, I'm real busy up here, but I figured I'd give you some reprieve on your ridiculous
Makes up
issues.
for last week.
Yeah, no kidding. So many issues. Okay. Before we jump into my first world problems, as I like to do in the first segment, you should see my notes this week. It's clogged with first world problems. But I want to give the men out there a little heads up on girl stuff. Those of you who have wives and girlfriends already know these things. But I'm warning the single men out there who perhaps are still looking, or the women out there still looking. You gotta be yourself, okay? If you fake anything, it's gonna eventually come out, and you know that's not fun for anybody. But here's something that a lot of men don't understand. I think when they get involved with women is that they think that we go to bed all pretty and stuff, and some women, weirdly enough, at the beginning of relationships will wear makeup to bed, which is like the worst thing you can do for your skin. The worst. I know a girl who had fake eyelashes, not strip lashes that I wear. She had extensions, and she literally, I mean, her boyfriend did not know that she had fake eyelashes for the longest time. Like all through COVID, she made sure. She was like, if there's one thing that I'm going to get done, it's that. And I'm like, yeah, but okay. Anyway, here's my point. I go to bed so butt ugly. I go to bed so you would be shocked, I tell you. And let me give you a picture. Let me draw a picture for you of what I wear when I go to bed. All right, gird your loins. Gird all the loins. Okay, first of all, I put on about 47 face products. And one of the face products I'm getting ready to tell you about, because I have an affiliate code now. Very excited. I'm working on getting affiliate codes for all the things I use. Like Fred told me, he was like, you need to be contacting these companies and getting affiliate codes, because you talk about this stuff, you might as well get a little kickback. I'm like, good point. So in a minute, I'm going to tell you about my first affiliate code. But I slather on all this creams and ointments and gels and serums. And then I have my sleeping cap on, my satin bonnet, that mainly you see black women wear in public, unfortunately. But I wear it at night. And ladies, get you a satin sleep bonnet. It'll save your hair, okay? So I have that on. Then, after I put my 47 pounds of serums and creams and gels and whatever, and then I put Aquaphor all over my face, which sucks in all the moisture because I'm telling you right now, my skin is so dry. You could pour a bucket of water on my face, on my dry skin, and in about 3 seconds it would be, because I have unbelievably dry skin because of my eczema. Anyway, then what I put over all that, Stephen, is a silicone face mask. Do you know what this is?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Those little plastic silicone face masks that women will wear to put their sheet masks on to make the sheet masks last longer. Well, tips and tricks of the day. Girls, put that on overnight. Put it on overnight. And then I have my jammies on and my very comfy, very heavy socks because I have very cold feet all the time. And then I put my eye mask on. And then I put this thing called an angel lift in my mouth, which basically is it lifts your lips and you can, it erases lines. I'm working on an affiliate code for them too, because when I explain to you how this has helped me not have to like shove filler in my face too early, like this thing works. And poor Fred, anytime I turn to him in the middle of the night or before we go to bed, he's like, can you not? Like, like I try and kiss him goodnight. And he's like, oh my God, the mask. No, you look like a freak. So there you go. The uglier you go to bed, ladies, the cuter you will wake up. So there you go. All right. Honestly, and I was thinking about this. I've said this before. I don't have a lot of skills, do I, Stephen? Like employable skills, if you will. Have you, aside from me talking, have I demonstrated to you any kind of employable skill set whatsoever at all?
None.
Right. Right.
None. You have the gift of the gab.
Aristotle.
Hence talk radio.
Yes. Know thyself. So I had a thought. I said, if the apocalypse comes, I truly hope that wit and charm and the ability to hold a conversation like has some cachet in the new economy, because otherwise I will get eaten, and I will get eaten quickly. All right. So let's hope that happens. And okay, so here's my first world problem. I have two. My first world problem is that my husband does not know how to use the remote. And I say this, I remember the booger TV I was telling you about a couple weeks ago, the TCL brand that just freezes the Chinese TV that freezes just for no reason. Anyway, this thing has a remote on it. It's honestly, if it didn't freeze, it'd be a good TV. It's fine. It's fine. If you need to save half the price, get the TV. As long as you understand, like every 2 weeks, you're going to have to unplug the whole thing and replug it back in. Okay. This remote's pretty easy to use. You can see what you're watching, all these things. Well, for whatever reason, like Fred has like a mental block about this remote. Like he always has problems like working it and getting it to the show. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're so smart. And I think at the end of the day, he only has enough bandwidth for like the market and money and things that are important, so that his mind is not clogged with the minutia of let's get this remote to work. I honestly think that's what could be it. So he bless him. He just has remote problems, ladies. And then this other first world problem I have, this is kind of a dumb one. I have a shoe sitting in my front seat in the passenger side. It's a sandal, and it broke, and it has been repaired a number of times. And I thought I had a backup pair of these shoes, and evidently I gave them to ThredUp, unfortunately. So this shoe is waiting to be cobbled, taken to the shoe hospital. But because I hate the location of the Houston Shoe Hospital, because I submit to you, if you live in Houston, when I tell you the name of this intersection, you're going to go, oh, yeah, that's a bad one. Chimney Rock and Westheimer. Steven goes, oh.
That's rough.
That's a bad one. I mean, someone needs to come up with the worst intersections in Houston. This is going to be up there. It is awful, you guys. Like, if you know Houston, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's a bad one. So the Houston Shoe Hospital's on that corner, and I'm just like, I don't have any, because you have to figure out, okay, I got to turn right in this way, and then I got to figure out how to go right out of, it's a whole, every time I have to go there, I have to come up with this, like, like 5-step plan on how to get in and out of there because it's such a nightmare intersection. So there you go. There's my first world problems for you. Okay, something funny. I was at the doctor yesterday, and I was getting my blood pressure taken. And my sister Allison and I have always had weird competitions. And one of the weird competitions we currently have is blood pressure. And normally I win, but sometimes she will win. And so every time I'll take blood pressure, she'll send me the number. She's like, beat it. So yesterday I took my blood pressure, and honestly, I was like, I can't send her that number because it was high for me. It was like 122 over 80. Normally I'm like 108 over 70. I'm like, what's going on? I don't like that. Is it my old lady kicking in, Steven? I mean, I am turning 30 next week, so, there's that. Steven, you don't think I'm going to be 30 on Monday? You're like, no, that is a damnable lie, lady.
I wouldn't have guessed that high.
You're just like, you just have a breadth of knowledge from the 80s and 90s, but evidently you're just a school of those decades, but you're only like an embryo. Amazing. Anyway, couple more funny things. I'm going to tell you about the show I'm watching. I'm solo watching this show because Fred is like, no way wanting to watch this, but I will wait until the next segment. And then I swear to you, we're getting to some stuff. You're listening to the Angela Box Show. Be right back. You remembered. Oh my gosh, you guys. New bumper music. And Steven even played what I talked about last week. That amazing Morrissey version of Back on the Chain Gang.
Huzzah
and huzzah.
Since I was going to do a new one, it had to be Morrissey.
I mean, huzzah.
I had this great joke in the back of my head, though,
Okay.
that I was just going to play one headlight for every bump, every segment. But then I realized that would only be funny to me.
Yeah, well, it'd be funny to me, but also I'd be...
Also annoying.
Annoying, but it would be funny. I wouldn't be... Listen, I can't be mad at you. You do such a good job. I couldn't be mad at you. I would laugh, but I'm glad that... Yay Morrissey. Okay, I mentioned before... Listen, I'm just going to give you a preview of some of the things we're going to talk about. The Trump-Russia meeting and the Trump-Ukraine meeting. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Meghan Markle. I know you're like, oh, God, but no, trust me, it's relevant. The Meghan Markle drop that now Chrissy Teigen has reared her head. And if you don't know who that is, I'll tell you who that lady is. And she's a little problematic, as the kids say. And other stuff. We'll see. But before I get to all that, I mentioned that I've got this new affiliate link. And it's for this stuff called Froya Organics. Froya Organics.com. Okay, and here's the affiliate code, and you get, I think it's $15 off your first order. It's Angela 66106. I know it's annoying. I'm working on I'm going to contact them and see if I can change it to something a little more that trips off the tongue, if you will. But Angela 66106. This stuff, y'all, is amazing. It is the most nourishing, amazing balm. And they tell you just to use it on its own, but I'm like, no, my skin needs all of it. And Fred likes it too. Fred loves it. So we get it on Subscribe and Save, and we do it that way. Anyway, it's amazing, and you should give it a shot. And I have a little affiliate code for you, so that's fun. And I want to finally, before I tell you the stupid show I'm watching, because it does tie into politics, and there's this other Broadway musical. There are two current Broadway or one revival and one like completely banana sandwiches Broadway show that I want to talk about right now that does have to do with the culture. But I want to give a shout out to Becky Blaylock. Becky Blaylock and her husband Kevin of New Frontier Creative. Let me tell y'all, this girl has saved my hide. All right, she has revamped my everything. She's amazing. She's an amazing graphic designer. They do video, all this stuff. So newfrontiercreative.com is the is where you need to go find her. Now, all right, quickly. Here's what I'm watching. Fred's not watching this show for obvious reasons. It's called We Were Liars. It's on Prime. I read the book. It's like a YA, young adult adjacent book. Like, it's nothing, it's fluff. But I was curious to see, because I don't remember anything about it. I just remember vague things about it. So here's what you need to know. It's woke adjacent for like the first 4 episodes, and then like by the 5th episode, it's like throwing all kinds of woke crap at you. And I'm about just to quit it because I'm like, I don't care that much. This is dumb. Like it's basically it's about a very rich family. And, you know, in the book, I remember they were all flaxen haired. They're all blonde, you know, Nordic, if you will, or German, or what's the word I'm looking for? The Hitler. Thank you. Just very Aryan. That's the vibe they were trying to give this family because, you know, blonde hair and blue eyed people are all Nazis, evidently. But in the show, this is how ridiculous it is. Like, nobody would even know. Nobody would know unless you read the book that all these characters had blonde hair. In the show, they have taken these main actors and they have bleached the hell out of their hair. It is so fried. It looks terrible. And the main actress is the worst of all. And the main actress her delivery is like she's walking through molasses on Valium. It's like a dream when you can't move or you can't scream. That's her delivery. She's like, Anyway, it's not good. Don't watch it. It's dumb. But here's the stuff that's going on with the culture trying to shove crap down our throats. The new revival of Jesus Christ Superstar, which has been out a couple weeks, it's playing at the Hollywood Bowl. And if you're like, okay, what's the big deal? Well, a lot of Christians have a problem with that in the first place. I've actually never seen the musical. I love the song. I Don't Know How to Love Him. I think that's a beautiful song. Never seen the whole musical. Okay. And I will not watch it now. And here's why. So guess who they cast as Jesus Christ? I mean, you don't have to give me a name, but like, just give me like who do you think? Give me a guess. I
think it was Gollum.
It was Gollum. You are correct. It's Gollum. He already knows. Cynthia Erivo, who needs to lower her Ozempic dose, big time, you guys. Like, it's like, lay off the Ozempic. Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo is a black actress from England. And until a couple of years ago, I thought she was incredibly talented. I remember seeing her in some shows. I liked her. And then she got into this movie, this Wicked movie with her and Ariana Grande, who, again, another one needs to lay off the Ozempic. These total pocket people who went on this nauseating press tour last summer, like talking about how amazing each other. It was hilarious and nauseating. Anyway, she's like, I'm a queer black woman. I'm a queer black woman from England, and I'm going to play Jesus Christ. What you going to say about it? And everyone's like, what is this even? Why do you hate us? So not only is the musical considered problematic for Christians, it's like, let me step back and miss the lightning. Like, it's so unbelievable. Can you imagine if they did like a musical about, I don't know, Muhammad, prophet of Islam, and they cast like a flaming homosexual as Muhammad, who had a penchant for young boys, which may or may not be accurate. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, it would be bomb central all the time. But only Christians just have to take it on the chin. Take it on the chin every time. Because you know why they do that to us? Because they know we're not going to blow anybody up. You know why? Because we know it's like we understand who Jesus Christ is. We understand that he saved us and we're good. Like, you go right ahead. You blaspheme. You step back and miss the lightning, like, all day, all the time. Knock yourself out. We know who Jesus Christ really is. He's the Savior of the world. Stephen, how much do I have? A minute? Okay, one more thing. This other thing that is an abomination. Last Saturday or Sunday, there was a segment on Good Morning America. I think it was over the weekend. There's a new Broadway musical. And it's called Oh, Mary. And it is basically reimagined Abraham Lincoln as a transgender, and Mary Todd Lincoln is like a raging psychotic alcoholic. And it's a musical. And there's some guy that is on RuPaul's Drag Race on it. and I guess he's a transgender, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. It's a dude wearing a dress and makeup. Okay, that's what it is. And he goes on Good Morning America, and he basically, first of all, for them to have this just shows you how much they hate you. They hate you. And he gets up there and he's like, well, they're just trying to erase us from the culture, and we're not going back into the shadows. It's like, listen, sis, nobody cares if you're a grown adult and you want to chop off your junk or put on a dress or wear makeup or cosplay as a girl. Nobody cares. It's the grooming of children. It's the putting men in women's spaces, and it's the competition of boys against girls. Like, that's what we have a problem with. So it's an abomination. The culture hasn't gotten the memo yet that we're all done with them. But, blame on. Blame on. All right, you're the Angela Box Show. We'll be right back. Yay, the cure! Which reminds me, because Steve wanted to chime in on something on this abomination of Jesus Christ Superstar, but before I get to that, you're like, oh my God, can you get to some things? Can you get to some stuff that happened this week? I will, I promise. When I was a kid, and this again ages me quite a bit, but who cares? There was a funny thing called Half Hour Comedy Hour on MTV when MTV was funny. I saw a lot of great comedians on there, like a ton that I still remember. But they did little skits too, and they had one of Robert Smith of The Cure, and there was like a call-in line. It was like teenage girls like sitting in their bedroom on their beds, and they're like, call Robert Smith, and they'll call, Robert, are you miserable? I'm miserable. And Robert Smith goes, I'm so miserable. Are you miserable, darling? Oh, yes, I'm miserable too. It was the funniest thing. Do you remember that? He remembers that. We're the same age. We're 30. Anyway, okay, so we were talking about the Queen revival, and that Adam Lambert is actually in this abomination, the Jesus Christ Superstar abomination. And I said I actually liked Adam Lambert as the head of Queen.
He's a good singer. He's
a great singer, and it fits because he's gay. Freddie Mercury was gay, whatever. But there's no replacement for Freddie Mercury. He was a singular talent.
No, but if you don't know about this, look this up. Because Adam Lambert won it on whatever contest they were running.
He won. Oh,
yeah. Queen did a contest for their new lead singer.
Okay.
And there's this singer from a Christian band down here called Mark Martell. Mm-hmm. And he sent in a video of Somebody to Love. And he had the mustache and everything. And I'm telling you, you almost can't tell their voices apart.
You're kidding.
He sounded exactly like Freddie Mercury.
Like the Filipino guy that took over for Steve Perry in Journey, who does a great job.
And when he lost to Adam Lambert, like, people went nuts.
Well, I mean, obviously.
And he ended up getting the gig part-time. So he shared the gig with Adam Lambert for a couple of years as they went on tour. But if you watch that video, look up Mark Martell, Somebody to Love.
Okay.
And you'll be amazed at how much he sounds like Freddie.
Homework. I will look it up. I'm going to look it up. And I'm going to look up an Adam Lambert version and a Mark Martell.
And when you hear him, you'll know that Adam Lambert was not the right choice.
Well, I think they picked him because he's the name.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's all for that. Let's get to some stuff. I promised, and here we go, finally starting the show. All right. So, only 30 minutes into it. Only 3 segments in. Okay. So, over the last few days, Trump has just taken a flamethrower to the deep state on every single level. Last week when he met with Putin, and he pulls out the whole, has the B-12, B-2 bombers flying overhead, showing Putin who's boss. The backdrop of pursuing peace. It's a far cry from mission accomplished that W did after, pretending he won the Iraq War, which we never should have been in. Anyway, it was a good meeting, and I think personally that they already have a deal made. I think that there's look, I think that Russia has been made to be such a boogeyman by the left, and by frankly a lot of our people too. Because they bought into the whole, Cold War stuff, even though the Cold War's been over since the early 90s. And obviously there's problems with Russia, but there's more problems with Ukraine as far as I'm concerned. I don't think the thing that came out, obviously, was that Putin said that this war never would have started if Trump had been president. And OPS, you were robbed in the 2020 election. And what I think is fascinating is that Trump has never backed away, not once, that the 2020 election was stolen. Not once. And now he's like, he goes on Hannity last week, and he's like, hey, Putin said this, and thank you for confirming what we already know. And also, guess what else he said? He said, why do you have mail-in ballots? Like, that's crazy. No country does mail-in ballots, because you know why? Because it's rife with fraud. Obvi, okay? And every single Democrat now is having a meltdown because Trump is saying, I'm going to do an executive order to get rid of the mail-in ballots, except for legitimate absentee ballots that have watermarks on them, that you have to prove who you are. You have to have a legitimate reason why you need an absentee ballot, like if you're overseas or you're in the military. Obviously, those things are not considered mail-in ballots. Those are absentee ballots, different standards. And we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of those dumb drop boxes. And then Trump said something. He goes, we should probably get rid of those voting machines, too, because they're weird. The Voldemort machines, as I call them. And I was very upset to see that Newsmax settled with the Voldemort machines for $67 million. This is what makes me crazy about that whole thing. And I say the Voldemort machines because I don't want to get sued for $1 billion. I don't have any money. So, knock yourself out, Voldemort machines. My opinion. I think that when we understood that the machines were troublesome, when Mike Lindell had his cybersecurity conference, and I watched every second of that thing, and there was all kinds of cyber people on there that said, hey, we got calls from people in Venezuela, like the Venezuelan government, like expats that escaped Venezuela, and they said, we knew exactly what went on when everything got shut down at 10:30 at night. Remember that? Everything got shut down. They're like, they had excuses for why, and it was, whole thing. And they're like, well, this is what they do in our country when they need to steal elections. And so they knew that there are cybersecurity experts that have looked into these machines that can show that there are algorithms that can be programmed to switch votes from person A to person B by about 6%. And so the thinking is that the reason Hillary Clinton thought she had 2016 in the bag is because she knew about all this. They knew. They didn't have the universal mail-in ballots. So how'd they get that? Did they create a worldwide pandemic in order to get rid of one person so they could have the mail-in ballots? I submit to you, yes. And that's what we're going to come to find out. Anyway, all the things that Trump is talking about, and now meeting with Zelensky the other day, and I'm, let's slow clap Vladimir Zelensky for wearing a big boy suit. He wore a big boy suit. And I think him wearing a big boy suit was a signal to his handlers, his former handlers in the EU and the deep state, etc., that he's not playing. He's not playing with these people anymore. Like I think he sees the writing on the wall. And he understands that he better get on the right side of this, because eventually all this is going to come out. There's a reason that a bunch of Democrats in the Biden crime family and the Romneys and Nancy Pelosi's kid and Kerry's kid, it's so weird. They all had sons on boards of energy boards, that didn't have anything to do with energy. And so weird, let's throw $300 billion at the Ukraine war and let's not audit it at all. Why would we do that? And, Ukraine is known as one of the most corrupt countries in the world. It's basically been the deep state's playground for these many decades, and that is coming to a screeching halt, I predict. Now, speaking of Russia, the Russia collusion hoax, and here's what I honestly wonder, because James Comey was out there the other day. He's let it be known. He's like, listen, I'm taking my dollies and I'm going to Blue Sky. It's like, well, bye-bye. It's not going to really stop what's coming, but okay, knock yourself out. Go to Blue Sky. And he let it be known that he's a Taylor Swift fan. He's a Swiftie. And it was a very strange post that he put out. Something about, I'm a Taylor Swift fan. It's getting me through all this stuff. And it was like there was some thinking that, this was basically a signal to his other deep state comrades that there might be some false flags afoot. I don't know, maybe. But when you look at the things that we now know, that obviously the Trump-Russia collusion was a hoax, every declassified email, every message, every FBI report, every Inspector General report, every intelligence memo, we know that the Five Eye countries were working to circumvent our surveillance laws, to basically spy on American citizens and then ship that information back over to American spooks. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. And the other day, Trump had, I think, another message to the deep state. He had all those leftists standing with him in the Oval. Ursula von der Leyen, head of the EU, Keir Starmer, Macron, whoever else. And then, Giorgia Meloni, the only decent one up there, the Italian prime minister. And he pointed at, did you see this? He has a picture of when he was shot, even though the left still says he faked it, shot, and the iconic picture that was weirdly not given the Pulitzer last year, which, whatever. And he points at it, and he was like, yeah, remember that? Because guess what? He knows. They were in on, my opinion, they were in on it. And I think he knows that they were. Okay? And I think he knows that the second alleged shooter, Ryan Routh, had deep Ukrainian ties. Like, it's all such a little web. It's such a little web. So, what was very funny to me, though, is, how I like to say that the left is dumb and arrogant is a dangerous combination. Well, over on X, the last few days, they've been having absolute paroxysms, meltdowns about the Trump-Russia meeting. And people like Mark Hamill, who is one of the most unhinged leftists you can ever come across. If you want a good read, if you want a good chuckle, go read his X account. He is a complete lunatic, okay? And he is the epitome of dumb and arrogant is a dangerous combination. We have to laugh at these people because they're not in power. When they are in power, they are very dangerous. Right now, they're just sky screaming all day, every day, 24/7. And so basically Mark Hamill and a bunch of Hollywood actresses like Amber Tamblyn, you're like, who? It doesn't matter. But just Hollywood in general is like, they're referencing the P-tape. They're referencing the Steele dossier, which has been a proven fabrication. For not only were we just realizing how much of the Trump-Russia thing was a hoax, but everyone knows for the last 5 years that was a Hillary Clinton concocted piece of election interference. Even the left, you would think, would know that, but they don't. They don't, because they're in their little bubble. And so when people like Smallhead, Rachel Maddow, which side note, I finally figured out what Rachel Maddow's malady is. She has small head. I was like, what is it? Is it just she has a big thick neck? No, she has small head. That's what it is. So all they listen to is Rachel Maddow, and all they listen to is their own little echo chamber. And so they legitimately think that the Christopher Steele dossier is still real, which, okay. I don't know. Are they going to be the Japanese soldiers still on some island thinking they're still fighting the Allied forces? 60, 70 years later? I don't know. Knock yourselves out. As long as you're not in power, we can just stand back and laugh at you. All right, one more segment. It's the Angela Box Show. Oh! Ooh.
Thinking of your TV again?
Thinking of my TV. The little possessed Chinaman in my TV. Love that song. Love me some Bowie. Talk about an iconoclast. Okay, now, I can't even remember where I was going. Okay, yeah, I do. So, obviously, this war never would have started if Trump were president. We all know this. And here's something we found out recently. I think Putin told Trump this, that not once did the Biden administration ever call Russia to talk to them, to say, hey, can we maybe not have this? Hey, what can we do? You know why? Because they wanted the war. They wanted the war. I'm telling you right now. Put money on it. I'm telling you right now, they were like, oh, this is good. This is good. We can really launder some money now. Ooh, boy, can we ever. And we can make sure that all of our useful idiots throw their little Ukraine flags in the bio, and along with their pride flags and their, black vests and their mask emojis and their syringe emojis and their trans flag emojis. Listen, every time I see, at this point, a tranny flag, a pride flag, or especially a Ukraine flag, I'm like, oh my God, you're so boring. You're so boring. Like, be interesting, please. Try. Anyway, okay. So yeah, they didn't have anything. They didn't want to talk. And this is why Trump is brilliant, because Trump was basically like, how about we just talk to these people? How about we have relationships with these people? Because when you realize that there's more that unites us than divides us, and that's not just a slogan, it's actually true, because people, generally speaking, they just want to live successful, prosperous, peaceful lives with the people they love. It's not that hard. And so I think Trump has that understanding that if you talk to people, a lot of this nonsense can be set aside, and he's great at it. He's great. Now, here's what's funny is that Satan's Muse, Hillary Clinton, and the Star Wars villain John Brennan. John Brennan. He just looks like, he looks like someone you would not want to meet in a dark alley. He is pure evil. He and Satan's Muse, Hillary Clinton, out there saying, if this goes through, we should nominate him for Nobel Peace Prize. And this is what's wild to me, is that, like, without irony, people are like, wow, what do you think that means? Like, do you think they're like they really think that Trump is doing a good job? It's like, are y'all retarded? Okay. Because here's why they're doing it, geniuses. I mean, I know that you're not covering this, CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, whatever. But the rest of us who don't get our news from y'all, we understand that they're in a heap big of trouble, okay? The Trump-Russia collusion hoax doesn't seem to have an end to the statute of limitations because you keep talking about it and you keep promoting it and you keep saying that it wasn't a hoax. It was real, and, Trump is a stooge of Russia. All you people that are still doing these things, you're still committing treason. You're still committing seditious acts of conspiracy. The conspiracy has not ended. Ergo, no statute of limitations. This is why, obviously, they're suggesting he has a Nobel Peace Prize. They didn't just, all of a sudden go, we should do this. See, this is how dumb and arrogant these people are. They think that Trump is a simpleton. And they think that he can be, cajoled. His ego can be cajoled and soothed and, petted. It's like, oh, he's just so simple. Like, let's just appeal to his ego because he's a narcissist and he's a megalomaniac. And he's, he just wants to be told how amazing he is. And if we say this, then he'll stop looking into us. Right? No, y'all are dumb. Y'all are dumb. But, I guess when you have nothing else, throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. Now, we only have a few more minutes in this segment, so I'm gonna put that on a shelf. We'll get back to that at some point. It's not going away. Couple of funny stories. One story is not funny at all, but it is funny because Gavin Newsom, I predict, is going to be in a lot of trouble. Just like Adam Schiff is gonna. If you don't know what's going on with Adam Schiff, Ed Martin, who is awesome, the D.C. U.S. Attorney. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Janine Pirro. That's Janine Pirro. Janine Pirro holding my beer. Ed Martin's in the DOJ now, and he's saying, oh, if you think that we're just looking at Adam Schiff for mortgage fraud, think again. But that's one Californian that's getting ready to have the finding out portion of our broadcast. The other one this week, big one, is Patrick Bateman, a.k.a. American Psycho, a.k.a. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is out there feeling himself, and he's got his social media team putting out dumb memes and, posts like mimicking Trump's style and whatever. It's stupid. But this week, you guys, there was a story that, again, the media's not talking about. In California, California gives driver's license to illegals. So do about 8 or 9 other blue states. And so does, shockingly, Utah. Okay? Which they need to fix that too, sweet. But whatever. I guess the scourge of Romney over there continueth in Utah. Anyway, California issued a commercial driver's license to this Indian national, Indian dot not feather. This Indian national who essentially was driving a semi and could not speak English and only could recognize one English traffic sign. Okay? Decided we should give this guy a commercial driver's license. And some company decided to hire him, probably at half the price of an American driver. And this guy ends up making an illegal U-turn and kills 3 people the other day in California, okay? And he was issued a CDL in California. He was issued a CDL in Washington State. And here's what I hope happens, and it needs to happen. These people need to start being sued, personally sued, because this is what happens when you allow criminality just to run rampant all over the place. And speaking of that, the left is not having a very good week overall in Washington, D.C., because even though they're like, well, it's a good news, bad news situation, because bad news is Trump's cleaning up D.C., and that's not good for us, because it's going to basically show that we could have done this all along. We just chose not to, just like we could have closed the border all along. We chose not to, and see how easy it can be done. And Trump's like, yeah, see how easy it can be done. Crime is down like overall 8% just in 1 week. I mean, carjackings are down like 80% or something crazy. And yeah, it's definitely not a good week for these people. So Gavin Newsom, who is scum of the earth, needs to be charged with murder. He needs to and Stephen Miller suggested he needs to be charged with crimes against humanity and child sex trafficking for all the things he's done in the border. He's going to be charged with all kinds of things, I predict. And I love how Gavin Newsom thinks he's running for president and that these things are like a flex. He thinks these things are a flex. Like, he goes on social media and he's like, look at me making fun of Trump. Aren't I, cutting edge there? You're going to, I think these people are all going to jail. I think it's a matter of time. Kash Patel over the last weekend, basically let it be known. Like, all of us are like, when are one of these human garbage cans getting arrested? And Kash and Pam Bondi have been like, we're in the exposure phase of this. We're in the education phase of this. The American people need to be brought up to speed as to just how evil these people are. And it's all going to come back to children, I predict. It's going to come back to human and child sex trafficking. And those 2 things are a universal. You cannot defend it. You cannot defend it. Now, there's all kinds of other stuff I didn't get to, but I just want to close with something funny. The Democrats need a new script, okay? They really do, because they have had a really hard time as of late coming up with anything that will stick against Trump. But this is how dumb that they know their listeners are. They literally keep saying this. Can you guess? Can you guess what they keep saying? What do we have to save? What do we have to save? What do we have to save, Stephen? Come on. What do we have to save? What do we have to protect? What is Trump taking a mustard gas to? Really?
Democracy.
Thank you. God. I was like, how hard is that? Not hard at all. Anyway, yes, the left keeps saying that Trump is taking a blowtorch, mustard gas, yawn, to our democracy. It's like, this is how dumb they know you are, okay? That they can literally say the same things over and over and over again, and you don't have any critical thought about it. You don't have anything like, well, none of these things that you say were going to happen have come to pass. Like, no gay people have been rounded up, as far as I can tell. And, oh, by the way, the earth has not exploded and been on fire because of climate change either, but these people aren't bright. Anyway, it's fun to make fun of them. It's fun, and I love being right. And on that note, that's my time. You've been listening to The Angela Box Show. We'll be back next week, and I will be 1 year older. I'll be in my 30s finally. I'm like, okay. Until next time, everybody, keep kicking ass and taking names. Peace.